there's still a lot of communities in Treaty 8 that rely on a traditional way of life. Anything that may affect them is something that is of interest. The CWD may not be impacting all communities in Treaty 8 at this moment, but it will be. And so this type of research, when it comes in, is a good first step in getting people aware of the issue and then start developing things proactively.
I'd heard about the Roger S. Smith Award from a colleague of mine and decided that I would apply for it because I was interested in doing a project with Brenda this summer. And she had mentioned this project involving chronic wasting disease and documenting Aboriginal communities' sensitivity and vulnerability to chronic wasting disease. This was a chance for them in Aboriginal communities to be able to give their input on what they thought about chronic wasting disease and to be able to influence policy, in particular government policy, with respect to how they're going to manage the disease.
I was very lucky with Maggie to find somebody that was, ready and willing to, jump right into a project that she really knew nothing about initially, but then through the course of the summer work that she was really, able to do interviews, do conference presentations, analyze her data, did a wonderful report at the end of the term, and it was really exciting for me to see somebody, take an opportunity like that and develop herself as well as provide the communities and myself with the resources we need to move forward with that project.
They also had an opportunity to discuss their other concerns with respect to any sort of environmental issues, so I didn't close the doors when they wanted to discuss other sorts of activities happening in the area that are affecting their livelihood, their hunting, trapping and stuff like that. So there was a lot of protocol that was required before that in terms of working with Treaty 8 First Nations of Alberta and establishing what exactly would be in the survey, sort of acquiring their permission to work with the communities and establish a relationship. I found that that was, in particular, the most important part of the project was establishing a trusting relationship with Treaty 8 in order to have access to these communities.
So I liked working with Maggie and Brenda on this particular project. They were very good, very professional. They were very good people as well, beyond professionalism. And not only because they bought lunch. When I first met her, she really wanted to get her work done, and that she wanted to do it in a good way. She had kind of a glitter in her eyes that, let me at the project here. I want to get going.
When you find a good student that you can trust and that you can work easily with, like Magdalena, there are huge opportunities for the supervisor in that context because you can give somebody a project and they run with it and they're creative and they use their own imagination and skills to move that work forward, and so it becomes more of a peer relationship once the student gets involved deeply in a project. And I learn as much from Maggie in how she's learning as she learns from me or from the project itself. So it was a really nice collaboration between Magdalena and myself as well as the other researchers involved in the chronic wasting disease project.
Having this opportunity to do this type of project had an enormous effect on what I'm doing now and what I plan on doing in the future. Most of my previous experience focused around working with the environment, like forestry and wildlife conservation, but this was my first opportunity to actually step out into communities and work with people, which is mostly where my degree is focused as well. So it's sort of given me new skills that I'm using today as a research assistant and that I plan on utilizing when I apply into a master's program.